This race is very simple. It's either 8th District money or 2nd District heart. The choice is yours. It's the dollar versus the change. Now, this is where I get back in my truck and head back to Southwest Georgia because I got two races to win.
Thank you very much. Doug Reardon, you're not staying, sir? Are you leaving? Okay, well, I guess we will continue. And
well, folks, I have something real special for you today. A story out of Marjorie Taylor Gangrene's home state of Georgia that, while it doesn't involve her directly, sorry to get your hopes up there, or maybe not, because, you know, dealing with her can be a burden in and of itself sometimes, but it does involve some similar, let's call them marjorisms, that we've become accustomed to seeing when dealing with Republicans in general. And I'm going to jump right into the clip here that you saw of this guy, Chuck Hand, storming out of this debate in a second because it is hilarious. And we'll break everything down after because there's some juicy stuff going on here behind the scenes. But for some quick context, essentially, this guy, Chuck Hand, is running for Congress in the 2nd District of Georgia, a district that is heavily favored to go to the Democratic incumbent, Representative Sanford Bishop, in November. But Chuck here is a blue-collar, hard-working, America First Republican. You can probably tell based on his caterpillar cap and his denim shirt that he wears to debates, refusing to wear the typical suit of regular politicians. And perhaps most notably, Chuck here is a convicted January 6th rioter who spent time in prison, and he is currently in a heated runoff against his Republican competitor. This guy, by the name of Wayne Johnson, who kind of looks like a slightly less racist version of Colonel Sanders. And they had a debate the other night that got off to a bit of a rocky start. Take a look.
this is the Republican runoff debate for Congressional District 2. Now let's meet the candidates. They are in alphabetical order. Chuck Hand is a construction superintendent and vice chair of Taylor County's Republican Party. And Wayne Johnson was a senior official in the Trump administration and worked in finance for 30 years. To start the debate, each candidate will be asked 2 questions by the panel. Candidates have 60 seconds to answer their questions. Jill Nolan, please ask your question to Chuck Hand.
Hi, Mr. Hand. Congress is currently working on a new farm bill, which will have a big impact on the 2nd District. What are your thoughts on the current House Republican plan? And specifically, would you support the controversial proposal to cut food aid for low-income Americans?
I'm Chuck Hand, lifelong resident of the 2nd District. I've worked side by side with the people of the 2nd District, solving problems since 2018. I've only seen this man next to me come around when it's election time, wanting to run for office. I've been wearing tires slam out in Southwest Georgia, meeting with voters and building relationships in our communities for years now. I'm not interested in debating the issues of the 2nd District with a man who doesn't even reside in it, especially one who orchestrates attacks on my wife.
And I want to pause there real quick just to say that is just a snippet of a sneak preview of some of the drama that is to come. So stick around for that. And also, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and we'll get right back into it.
I'm more concerned about beating Sanford Bishop, representing you, and passing the America First agenda and putting Donald Trump back in the White House. This race is very simple. It's either 8th District money or 2nd District heart. The choice is yours. It's the dollar versus the change. Now, this is where I get back in my truck and head back to Southwest Georgia because I got two races to win.
Thank you very much. Doug Reardon, you're not staying, sir? Are you leaving? Okay, well, I guess we will continue, and I'll ask Jill. You will get a question again to Wayne Johnson.
What are your thoughts on the farm bill?
Yeah. Wow, I don't even know how to react.
Wow. I can't even, okay. Yeah, wow. A lot to unpack there, clearly. First and foremost, he doesn't even answer the question. I mean, it's his opening statement. He can do with it what he will, but he just completely ignores the question and then walks off stage at the beginning of the entire debate. Wild, especially when you consider, how much Republicans or people on the right like to call the left snowflakes. and say, oh, you people can't handle the heat and facts don't care about your feelings and all that nonsense. And then to have this guy literally not even engage in a debate with his Republican rival and just walk off the stage. I mean, I kind of see where he's going with it, but I mean, you let me know in the comments, like, does this look good for him? I don't think it does, especially when you consider, as we'll see later, that he didn't go to his truck and go help Georgians. He went outside and answered questions from the press for like 20 minutes. So just an absolutely chaotic start off the bat, but it gets even crazier. So Chuck here walks off the stage right after accusing Wayne Johnson, his Republican opponent, of orchestrating attacks on his wife. And even though Wayne Johnson looks like someone who could fry another person just as good as he could fry some chicken, in reality, Johnson was not the one that was lobbing the attacks at Hand's wife. They were actually brought up, his wife's legal troubles, were brought up by Michael Nixon, who is another former Republican rival who has exited the race last month, and then he ended up endorsing Johnson. And the reason he brought it up was because Hand's wife, Mandy, spent a year in jail and 9 years on probation after she was convicted of a felony oxycodone charge back in 2008. Now, is that relevant to him running for congressional office? Probably not, no, but you know, it's an interesting tidbit. But then to run out of a debate like a coward and blame someone who didn't say those things for saying those things, it's just the purest form of Republican disingenuity and stupidity. Especially when you consider that Hand himself was convicted for illegally demonstrating inside the Capitol on January 6th, which he served 20 days in prison and 6 months probation for. And that is apparently something Republicans wear as a badge of honor, because he is one of at least 4 other congressional candidates, all identifying as Republican, mind you, that were also convicted of crimes relating to January 6th. You gotta love the Law and Order party, people. And Wayne was quick to capitalize on Chuck Hand's departure, not only by finishing the debate, but he also said, I would like to assume that Chuck Hand's departure, the way in which he did it today, was his withdrawal from the race, adding, but it certainly should cause pause to people and think about why he did it and what he was trying to get by doing it. And although Chuck said he needed to get in his truck and go help Georgians, he actually just went outside and talked to reporters, saying he believed Johnson had helped orchestrate the attacks by Nixon on his wife, adding, it's perfectly fine to attack me as a candidate, I expect that, but to come out and publicly attack my wife, that's a completely different situation. My wife had paid her debt to society long before I ever met her. And he paid his debt to society through his prison and probation sentence for being a literal insurrectionist. So where does this leave us, right? It's funny that much like Republicans in every other circumstance, he won't even engage on the issues. He won't even participate in a debate because he's too busy driving around in his truck and helping Georgians by doing God knows what. Maybe he's supplying them with construction materials, right? Who knows? Or actually that would be too socialist for him to go giving handouts like that, I guess. So yeah, it's just a perfect microcosm of the Republican Party in general and their complete lack of substance or any real policy ideas. He's out helping Georgians, and that's all that matters. And the only thing that matters is he comes in a blue collar Caterpillar hat and denim jacket. And the issues be damned, because it was never about the issues to begin with. It's just about the optics. Because the party of law and order, the party of working class people, the party of family values isn't any of that. It's just the party of Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you liked the juicy drama of this incident. I hope you got a kick out of it. Make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think of this situation down in those comments below. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.